Hello everyone, here is lecture 4 on solid electronic materials. In this lecture we will discuss on direct and indirect band gaps and types of electronic materials. Here is kind appeal for ignorance of alignments. This is the first topic in which we have to discuss about the direct band gap and indirect band gaps. First of all, let us discuss about the energy band gap. As we know that the minimum energy difference between the conduction and valence band is called forbidden energy gap. Or in other words, energy gap or band gap, which is expressed in electron volts. And this figure, which is called energy band diagram. Okay, energy levels are drawn between energy and momentum. These two parameters belongs to electron energy and electron momentum. This one also. So here, this band, okay, or the energy levels or band lying below of this curve is called valence band, and above this curve is called conduction band. Similarly, is here conduction band and valence band. In few materials, so conduction band, these curves are in form of straight lines. Okay, in the conduction band and as well as in the valence band, we have straight lines. Then there is not need to discuss about the direct and indirect band gaps. But here, when the topmost energy level of valence band and bottom of conduction band are in form of curves, then there is need to discuss about direct and indirect band gap. Okay. So what are these two gaps? Let us see. In first figure, we can see the lowest point, lowest energy value. This is located here in the conduction band, and the topmost energy value of a valence band is located here. When these 2 points lie in the same line, or the momentum of these 2 points is same, then this energy gap or the energy gap between these 2 points is called direct energy gap. Okay, direct band gap. When these 2 points don't lie in the same line, or they have different momentum values. See in this figure, different momentum, not in single line, straight line, okay, straight vertical line. Okay, they are lying at different lines. Then the energy band gap is called indirect band gap. Okay, this one indirect band. So forbidden energy gap here is called direct band gap. Here is called indirect band gap. For conduction process, it responds faster than this one. Why? Let's see. If photons are incident here, or external energy is given, okay, for this material, then by accessing the external energy, electrons of a valence band, okay, directly jumps to the conduction band, okay, and leaving behind an empty space. This is called hole. So depending on the number of electrons jumping to the conduction band, we have the number of holes in the valence band. Okay, if larger amount of energy is provided, okay, in terms of light rays or in terms of temperature, okay, in other form, then the number of holes will be higher in the valence band. Same number of electrons will be in the conduction band. But here, when the amount of energy is provided in terms of light or temperature, so electrons directly can't jump to the conduction band. First of all, electron have to shift to here, okay, here, not here directly. The electron will try to occupy lower energy levels, means this one have to shift here. So first of all, this electron, okay, of momentum is around this one, is needed to be increased till to this point, means the corresponding momentum of this point. So first of all, momentum of electron is needed to be increased. As we know, atoms are in vibrational motion through equilibrium condition. So when all atoms are in lowest vibrational mode, a wave formed is called a phonon. Okay, and if vibration energy is increased, then what wave will be formed? That energy can be expressed in terms of energy of a phonon. So phonon represents to the lowest vibrational modes, okay, of all atoms through a solid. A lowest mode that occurs at lowest temperature. We talk about the room temperature and other temperatures, then vibrational mode will be higher. So not need to discuss about the phonon. So by discussing directly about the vibrations of atoms, it will be enough. So here in this figure, when external source is provided, or light ray is incident, or temperature is increased, then electrons to jump to higher energy level, okay, first of all there is need to increase the momentum, okay, and that can be increased with the interaction of different vibrational modes of atoms, in other words to the solid. Okay, first of all, due to interaction with the solid, momentum is increased, and when that momentum of electron becomes equal to the momentum of this bottom point, then that will jump to the conduction band. When electron starts at that point, hole will be created, okay, but when electrons comes here, then after jumping here, electron is produced here. So electron will be produced in conduction band and hole is produced in valence band. So what is the difference between here and here? Okay, in this direct band gap material, not need to be increase the momentum. By absorbing the energy, electrons are directly jumping to the conduction band. But in this kind of materials, okay, so first of all there is need to increase the momentum, and then after jumping is occurred. So this process, okay, is prolonged than this one. So it is faster than this one, it's slower. Okay, and when number of holes are produced in both the materials, okay, electrons will contribute in the conduction process in the conduction band, and holes will contribute in the conduction in the valence band, but it responds faster than this. That's all in this topic. The discussed points are mentioned here again. Now we'll talk about the types of electronic materials, in which we will discuss on conductor, semiconductor, and so on. According to band theory, okay, we have seen that for conduction process, free electrons are required and few vacant levels are required. Okay, if vacant levels are there, then by gaining small amount of energy, electrons can jump over there and occupy the vacant levels and take part in the conduction process. So these two factors are important, and for these 2 points, valence band, conduction band, and energy band are played a crucial role. As we see in these 2 figures, here the valence band is 50% filled, okay, half filled, and the remaining 50% is empty. In the next one, a complete filled valence band, okay, is overlapped with the empty energy band. In both these cases, we can see, if we consider this filled one, okay, the hole is represented to the valence band, but after getting this kind of situation, if we consider this one as a valence band which is completely filled, and the upper one as conduction band which is completely empty, and between these 2 bands there is no energy there. Similarly here, the overlapping region, okay, see here, it is also filled. So when we consider this one as a valence band with overlapped region, and the remaining considered as a conduction band, and again there is no band gap. Okay, so these kind of materials are known as conductors when there is no energy band gap. Since why? By getting small amount of energy, electrons can occupy easily the upper vacant levels in this band as well as in this band, and afterwards they will contribute in the conduction process. So there is not need to face any forbidden gap in these kinds of energy bands, which are called conductors. As an example, the formation of bands in lithium solid and helium solid can be expressed here or shown here, which works as a conductor. Now talking about the semiconductor and insulator, if there is a gap between valence and conduction band, then materials are further classified into semiconductors and insulators. There is a gap. At 0 degree Kelvin, if we discuss those kind of materials, okay, the conduction is not possible since electrons can't jump to the valence band to conduction band in the presence of forbidden gap. Okay, so in both these materials, conduction is not possible at 0 degree Kelvin, okay, at absolute temperature. But talking about the normal temperature, when the energy gap between valence band and the conduction band is less than or equal to 2 electron volt, okay, then by providing external energy, electrons can cross the forbidden energy gap and jump to the conduction band. In other words, if sufficient amount of energy is provided, okay, to overcome this forbidden energy gap, then electrons can easily transfer from the valence band to conduction band. As a result of that, we have the same number of electrons in the conduction band to the holes in the valence band, which will take part in the conduction process. Holes take part in the valence band and electrons take part in the conduction process in the conduction band. As a result of that, we have electric conduction. So if the gap is more than 3 electron volts between valence and conduction band, then now it is not possible to jump electrons from the valence band to conduction band, even being provided high amount of energy. Okay. Now it is difficult to overcome this forbidden energy. This kind of materials are called insulators. In other words, dielectric materials. So we have seen that for conductors there is no gap. Electrons can easily transfer from the valence band to conduction band, okay, even at room temperature. But talking about the semiconductors, okay, there is need to provide some excess amount of energy. Then electrons can easily be transferred from the valence and conduction band, and electrons or holes take part in the process of conduction. But that process is not possible in insulation. Thank you. Thank you all.